Welcome back to the Motivational Mic, the show where we dive into real stories of resilience, reinvention, and the power of purpose. On this episode of the Motivational Mic, we're talking about the power of simple acts that can make a life-saving difference. Our guest today, John Norman, might describe himself as just a regular guy, but through his commitment to donating blood and platelets, he's making a real impact in the lives of cancer patients. Many people going through cancer treatment rely on transfusions to help them get through chemotherapy, surgeries, and recovery. John donates in honor of cancer warriors everywhere, and his story is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful way to support the fight against cancer is simply showing up and giving what you can. Hey John, how are you?
Good. How are you, Jacob?
I'm doing well. Well, before we get started, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I can. So my name is John Norman. I live in Port Washington, Wisconsin. I've lived here probably 25 years or so, and I believe you found me because of my habit of donating platelets every couple of weeks, and I've been doing that for about 8 years. I started that actually in August of 2017, and it's become, I guess you found out, a grateful habit of mine.
Yeah, when did you start actually finding your passion to help out the cancer community? I watched your video, your awesome 5-minute video. You you had started donating blood in high school.
Yeah, so just like a lot of people do, you get an opportunity to bring in a blood drive, and it was a way to get out of class for an hour. So it's sure I'll do that. I maybe did that twice, and then maybe a couple of other times when I was older and a Boy Scout leader, we went to some with our scout troop, and then I stopped. I hadn't been doing it. I hadn't done any blood donations for a long, long time, and the company that I was working with at the time hosted a blood drive in the office. And again, it was like, hey, you know what? We're encouraging you. And it was a life science company, so it was kind of health related. And they said, we encourage you to volunteer to donate blood. And I thought, well, this is pretty easy. It's right in the office. I don't have to go anywhere. Won't take very long. And I just gave it a try. They called me back maybe about a week later and they said, thanks for donating your blood, but we also see that you've got a really high platelet count and we'd like you to consider doing that. So I said, sure, that sounds good. What does that mean? Is it different than donating blood or is it the same? And they said, well, no, it takes a little bit longer. So blood takes like what, 20 minutes or so. Donating platelets takes, for me, start to finish is probably close to 2.5 hours. So it's a little bit more of a commitment, but I thought, I'll give it a try. And I set up a donation appointment for a Friday morning at 6 o'clock because I wanted to be able to get to work. And so I went in and I was signing up. And it was the first time I'd been into the blood center. All the other blood donations had been done elsewhere. Well, they have a sign up sheet and it had a check mark on there that says, have you donated before? And I marked it no, because I hadn't donated platelets before. And they acted like they knew me. And they're like, what do you mean you haven't donated before? I'm like, well, I haven't. And about 10 seconds later, my twin brother walked in the door and he had been
Uh,
donating for a few months. So that was kind of fun to see. And we hadn't planned it. It was totally a twin thing.
oh wow.
So that was kind of fun. So I donated, and that was great. And anyway, a couple of weeks later, I was taking a walk with my project manager at work. We would do that sometimes when we were running into trouble or running into a problem with something that we wanted to solve and talk about. And I was telling her about the platelet donation experience because I thought it was pretty cool because they put a needle in your arm. They pull out your blood and they run it through a machine. It's called an apheresis machine. It's kind of like a little centrifuge and it extracts the platelets and then it puts all the rest of your blood products back in your body, which I thought was pretty cool. And all through one needle. So fancy valve in there somewhere or whatever. And I was telling her about this and she stopped and she said, John, I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for platelets. She had survived childhood leukemia, and that was the moment that was sort of it put a face to what I was doing, and I that's the moment that I decided to continue going back every chance that I could because this was somebody I cared about that could use what I had to give. So it was kind of a no-brainer. My father had passed away from cancer and my mother-in-law had passed away from cancer. So I already had a hate-hate relationship with cancer, but I had never put two and two together with respect to blood donations or platelet donations or anything like that. It was just kind of an aha moment for me. So
Yeah, I mean, that's an awesome story. First of all, for you to coincidentally run into your brother while donating for the first time, I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. Uh,
right, that was pretty fun.
I mean, I'll say it as well. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for platelets. I had so many platelet transfusions, and I know we talked a little bit. I am allergic to platelets. It took a few,
That's
yeah. So it took a few rounds for my body to really realize. There's a picture somewhere of me all puffy and red. I could probably pull it up right now. I'll pull it up. It was
I believe
probably
you.
it was probably in my fourth or fifth round of chemo right after that when I was receiving a platelet transfusion where I started itching and breaking out into terrible hives. It was
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty bad. Here, let me try and find this.
So did you have to start, like taking some anti-inflammatories or something like Benadryl or
Yep.
something before your platelets to make it work? Oh,
So
that's
before,
crazy.
yeah, so I had to take like Benadryl. I'd load up on all these medicines before just to make sure my skin wouldn't break out into hives, that I wouldn't die from
Yeah,
receiving
right.
another human's platelets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and blood was never an issue for me though. So I thought I find that kind of interesting.
That is interesting because there's platelets in blood. I mean,
Exactly.
if you're getting a whole blood donation, so
Maybe it's
huh,
just the amount of platelets.
sure.
But yeah, so you really didn't know anything about donating platelets when you had first started?
Nope, not a thing. Not a thing. And it's yeah, and now it's a habit. I go in every 2 weeks,
Oh,
which is the you can go in as soon as 7 days after you donate, but they do limit you to donating up to 24 times in a year.
in a large
So
period of
by
time.
doing it every other week, that kind of works out pretty well, and it gives you a chance for your body to rebuild its platelet count and gives your arm a little rest to heal up from the needle poke. So that helps too. And yeah, it's pretty interesting process. And and you probably did too when you're in treatment. There's a couple of phlebotomists that are really good at finding my veins and others that are not. So when I do go in, they assign Hannah to me to take care of me, and the other phlebotomists run away because I have a vein that's hard to find, but they do a great job. I'm kidding. They don't really run away. They treat me super well.
I'll say it. I mean, there were so many times where nurses would screw up where the vein was. There were some that are better than others. Eventually, toward the end of my 1 year treatment, I was just like, just let me do it myself.
Right?
After
Yeah,
getting
and
needles
you
every
probably
day.
could.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I had a port from the
Uh-huh.
start to receive my chemo. I take out my port every time by myself. So yeah,
That's brave.
I mean,
Because this was when you were young, right? 11
I was
is
11
when
and
you were
12.
diagnosed?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it becomes your daily life, and I think a lot of people don't see that. I think they see a lot of what happens on social media, but then when you go home and when you're not on camera, I mean, I don't think they really understand what that truly means.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get to see the smiling pictures and others, but it that's got to be. I have not ever gone through cancer, and I don't want to, but certainly meeting people who are and have, I'm really amazed at what you have to go through, and just you don't have a choice. You've got to be strong, right? And you want to survive. So people will tell you, it's amazing what you're doing, and you don't have a choice, but I appreciate how what you're doing now because you've definitely taken something that was a horrible thing and turned it into something great. I mean, you're interviewing people and I think I saw when I was reading your profile that you want to be a sportscaster someday and things like that. And what a great way to do that. So I was really happy when you reached out to me.
I really appreciate that. I'm so happy to be having this conversation with you. It's, I mean, there's not a lot of people who take their time to donate blood, platelets, whatever, especially people who really don't have a lot of experience near cancer.
Right?
So, I mean, it really
Yeah,
means the world. There's blood drives at my school, everything. There are ambassadors, advocators talking weekly about how important it is to donate blood, how people depend on it, how you are really just a hero if you donate. And it takes no less than 20 minutes of your time to donate blood. Platelets is a little
right.
bit more uh,
Yeah.
prolonged, but it's all for a good cause. And I think,
Yeah, and here's something that's interesting too. I recently heard that only 3% of the population in the US donates blood.
oh, wow.
So, so there's a lot of room for improvement in terms of keeping the blood banks full and having enough. Because when you run out, and if you need it and it's not there, then you could die. It might not
Oh,
work
yeah.
out for you. And so I think about that every time, it's because it's early in the morning. I could say, nah, I don't want to go in today. But I would hate to be the reason that somebody couldn't get their platelets. And that's why I advocate for it too, because it
Yeah.
really would, if we went from 3% to 4%, that would be
Oh, it'd be so
huge.
much. I think we should be closer to 8 to 10%. I mean, I think it's
Yeah,
reasonable. I mean, there are some people in this country, some people in this world, I should say, who physically aren't able to donate, and
right.
that's all right.
Absolutely.
I don't think I'm able to donate with all the toxins I've received in my body, and
Right.
I just don't think it's great. But there are so many people out there with healthy blood, healthy cells who can really make an impact in these kids and adults' lives.
Yeah. Some people are afraid of needles, but my answer to that is, oh, come on, suck it up. You're going to save 3 lives today. Go, go do it.
When
And,
you,
and and actually, that's another thing too. Pretty much, probably 100% of us, either personally or somebody we love or somebody that we know, is going to need blood someday from an illness or an accident or cancer or whatever. But only 3% of us are giving. That's
yeah,
another reason to say, come on, you're going to need it someday and you're going to want it to be there. So you should try and supply some too. And it's never too late to start. I was, let's see, I got to do the math, 42 years old when I started. Not 42, 52
well,
when I
that was for
started with
platelets.
this habit. So yeah, but I had only done it maybe 3 or 4 times before that, and then this huge gap,
Yeah,
including the time that my dad was going through cancer. Because again, I didn't put two and two together that he needed that. I guess it was just something I
yeah.
wasn't paying attention to.
It's also something to think about that there are so many different blood types, and not all types of blood can be extracted into another person's body because
That's true.
there are how many different types? A plus,
Oh,
positive, minus, B.
yep.
There's
Oh,
there's I think 7 or 8, I would say,
yeah.
with the
A,
negative.
B, and O both with positive and negative.
Well,
And I think there's other sort of
yeah,
variations
there's
too.
like A, B, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, right. A, B. I forgot about that too. Yep.
well, the point I'm trying to make is that even though you're donating blood, some person might not be able to receive your blood because it doesn't fit their profile. So that's an
Yeah,
even more
exactly.
reason to donate, and an even bigger reason that 3% really isn't enough. Because when you think about it in the scope of things, I mean, you're trying to match people together, trying to match blood types, making sure. Because when blood is mixed into more blood that doesn't fit, I mean, it is not good. You will die.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
your cells will turn to like jelly and clog
Hmm.
your bloodstream. It's bad. It's really bad. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
and blood blood doesn't last forever either. I mean,
Oh yeah, it has a short
there's a
lifespan.
constant need for it. Platelets have an even shorter lifespan. They can only last for 5 days once they've been extracted. So there's a constant need, and if somebody like you is undergoing treatment and need it, then somebody within 5 days had to have donated for it to be available for you. Because on day six, then they have to, and then it can't be used anymore. So,
When you go through treatment, hours, I mean, hours are crucial. Time is so crucial. You were so anemic. You were so deprived of life, sun, all your vitamins and minerals that you need. So any amount of
hmm,
time that you're not receiving the medicine that you need, the blood, the platelets, whatever else it may be, I mean, your body's gonna rot away. It really will. And I
yeah,
remember feeling
mm,
like that. I just remember you feel so helpless. You're on chemo, you're on all these drugs. There's nothing to do except wait for someone to come and save you.
hmm. You know, I hadn't thought about it that way, but I can only imagine. Yeah, for sure.
It's not until the I guess I don't know how to say this. It's not until the spotlight is on you that you realize how important things are. I mean, and that's with everything. There are so many people who
Yeah,
take so many things for granted, walking, breathing, even. I mean,
yeah, that
living,
is
waking
true,
up in the morning. There are so many things that people take for granted, and the second that you're on the other side of it, you realize how lucky you really were.
for
So,
sure.
for everyone out there who is able to donate, who is a healthy being, please consider it because you'd save so many people.
For sure. For sure. That's great. You know, one of the other things that you probably saw in the video that I shared with you earlier, the other thing that I started doing, in addition to doing this for my friend Katrina, I started looking for other people who might need what I've got to give. And I began meeting these other people, but also telling a little bit of their story in a Facebook post or an Instagram post, along with my donation. So every 2 weeks, I do a shout out to somebody who I know or have met who is going through, and it's all focused on cancer. I know there are other reasons for platelets, but my passion is about people who are going through cancer, and I share their stories, and yeah, some don't need platelets, but most do, and I use that as a way to share the need. It's not just, hey, be a good person, donate blood. There are people out there who need what you've got to give, and I hope that those stories inspire other people to give it a try or at least encourage it. I found that to be probably the most meaningful part of my donation is learning about people like you or other people that I've met and what they're even a little snippet of what they're going through. What you've told me today is some things that I haven't thought of. So, and and Instagram used to have limits for the number of
Yeah.
characters you could use anyway. Well, they still do. So you can only tell so much of somebody's story, but it means a lot to me. I sit there in the chair and I use that 2.5 hours to learn more about the person that I'm doing the post about, and it makes me feel very, very grateful for my ability to donate and for the time that I've got to do it.
Going back to what you were saying earlier about courage and strength about having cancer, the analogy I want to throw at you is because so many people will say people have overcome cancer, overcome challenges, have so much strength. The truth is, everyone has strength. That's really true. It's not shown because it's not brought out. You need some form of adversity to test you, to push you, to break you before this, I guess, your confidence and your motivation, your drive can really show out. The analogy I want to put
That
with
is really
cancer,
true.
the
That is
analogy,
really true. That's a super good point. Because and sometimes we're lucky we don't have something like cancer thrown in our
oh
face.
yeah,
But I was just talking with some people today about just losing a job. It's like, what am I going to do if I lose my job? I'm like, you know what? You'll get through it.
You're still
I've
living.
lost a job. I've been unemployed and it sucked. But it does cause you to kind of suck it up and become stronger and more confident. And I I think that's a great analogy, Jacob.
Before you start, I think before you start your cancer treatment, I should say, or anything that's really any form of adversity, I think you're fearful, and I think that as soon as it happens, like your life is done. But when you blink and you wake up on the other side of it and you realize that you're not dead, you're still alive, and there's
Yep.
still something you can do about it, that's
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
you realize how strong you truly are and all the strength that you really have. But what I wanted to say, that wasn't the analogy. The analogy was how you get so strong. When you're going through cancer, any form of adversity, you're running from it. You're trying to get to the other side, and there's this brick wall that's chasing you. So when you try and come back, you're running into the brick wall. There's no way else to go. You just got to keep going until you make it.
Yeah, yeah, that totally makes sense.
I'm just trying to think about how many people you've helped. I mean,
Well, I think this I'm going in again this Friday, and this will be the 182nd
yeah,
donation. So if you do the math and you assume you're helping three people each time, let's see what that'd be. Between five and 600,
yeah, I'd say
right?
yeah, 550 about five.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So that's pretty cool. And that's only over 8 years,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, imagine
So I met a guy the last time I was in who he was my age and he had been donating since he was 14. So I can only imagine how many people
yeah.
how many people's lives he had affected. And I got a lot of catching up to do.
Just imagine a picture of 500 people standing in front of you, and you're part of the reason why they're able to stand in front of you today. The reason that
That,
they're able to continue to live, the reason that they're able to continue to do what they love, to love their families, to be loved by their families. I mean, you really make
yeah,
such an impact.
even if it's just for another day,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, what you're doing is the most powerful thing you can do, contribute to another person's life to help save it. Because a lot of what we do in this world right now is trying to take people's lives. And
Yeah,
listen, man, I mean, the world that we live in is a scary place. I don't think there's any denying that. I think it's a terrible world right now with bad intentions. But there are people like you and stories underneath the surface of the headlines that are good, that are motivating, that are positive, that need to take over the bad headlines.
yep, for sure. There's, like you said, not everybody can donate blood or platelets, but there's needs for so many things out there in the world. So if you can't do that, I mean, for anybody who's listening, I would say go find something else that somebody needs that you can give, even if it's, visiting with an elderly person in your neighborhood or teaching a kid how to read or doing something like that that improves somebody else's life with just a little bit of your time.
Yeah.
To do what you can,
Or
and you
simply
can make
just,
a difference.
and for anybody, just simply acknowledging others, just realizing that they're also as human as you, they have the same exact feelings as you, that you are not greater than them, you are not better than them in any way. We are all equal, we are all the same, and we all need to help each
Yep.
other.
Yep, we're all just normal folks. I'm actually, and I don't know if you need to include this or not, but I'm actually just starting up a new service club in our area here in Wisconsin called or the county I live in is Ozaki County, and this group is going to be called Ozaki's Army of Normal Folks. And the whole reason for us forming this service club is to do little things, the things that we can to help other people
Yeah,
in many different ways, right? We're not trying to save the world all at once. We're just trying to do what we can. And
baby step.
and that's what we call ourselves is the Army of Normal Folks, because that's all we are is normal folks doing stuff. So
I love that.
kind of a little plug for that too, but only because that's part of why I have continued to do what I do too, is running into people like that, and I want to take that forward and get other people to do it too.
It doesn't matter who you are, what power of leadership you hold. If you're the president in the cabinet, if you're a prime minister, we all have the same feelings. We all deserve to live.
Yep,
And I think that's something that's really important. People should know. Everyone, all 8 billion of us on this earth.
yep, with dignity, right? I mean, that's what we
Absolutely.
need.
There's so many ways to help people. Even if you're not devoting your time, opening a door for someone, giving someone a smile, just acknowledging that they're there, saying hi. I mean, anything really can just boost a person's mood. I mean, you never know how they're feeling. There have been plenty of
Absolutely.
times where everyone, I'm sure, has walked down the street feeling absolutely miserable at some point, and if someone makes a smile at you or a gesture at you, you may feel a little better. Maybe.
Yep, yep, for sure. And because you don't know what happened to that person earlier in the day or what's going on in their lives, you just have to assume that they could use a little love and say hi and say their name and make it known that you care about them.
Absolutely. What do you think the most important message is about helping people? What do you think people should really understand?
I think really even a little bit is a good thing to do. Help where you can and how much you can. I mean, it could be a half an hour a week or a half an hour a year. If you dedicate a little bit of time to somebody else, we don't have to boil the ocean all at once. And that's why the more of us that can get involved and help each other a little bit at a time, the 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 world's problems will start to solve themselves. We can't wait for those presidents and prime ministers and big huge nonprofits to do it for us. We need to do it right with our own neighbors and in our local neighborhoods, and fix ourselves first, right? Even in our own families, help the person down the hall, help the person across the street, and yeah, I think that's the main thing is just do what you can.
As people, I feel like there's this huge pyramid where we eventually depend on each other. And this is something that I literally just thought of. There are so many people that we put above us that we think we need, but in the end, we really all are the same, no matter occupation. I mean, our feelings are all the same. We all feel the same crap. We all feel the same physical pain. So, I mean, just think about it. Whoever's listening to this, whoever you are, whoever this may concern, people are people. We shouldn't be depending on each other. We should be helping each other. We should all come together to make this country and this world, I mean, just better. Because right now, what we're doing is not what we need to be doing.
Yep, totally agree.
And it's people like you and people who acknowledge that helping others is very important that are going to get that on the right track.
Yeah,
So,
and I guess I would follow up and just say, find something you're passionate about too, right? You don't have to do what everybody else does. You've got something that you like to do, or you have a certain skill. And in fact, the the host of there's a podcast for Army and Normal folks too, and he often says really what happens when if you have a skill and a passion, you're going to find an opportunity to use it. And when you do, then you know you're in the right spot.
as a person, you are fully in control of your life. As soon as you're born, I mean, maybe with the help of your parents or whoever's raising you, you have the chance to be the best person in the world or the absolute worst person in the world. And it all starts at birth, and it all starts at the way that you have your perception of life. And I think it's important that we build this perception of humanity should be stronger when we all emerge together.
Yep. Choose to be the good guy.
Absolutely. Well, John, before I mean we wrap up, this has been an incredible conversation. Is there anything else that you'd want to add?
I think just I agree. This has been incredible. It's really an honor to meet you. I've been watching some of your past podcasts and listening, and I know my friend Marissa was one of your guests, and
Yes,
that was exciting to see her. And I think she's the one who probably introduced us. But this
yeah,
is for me, it's just another one of those connections that I wouldn't have had I not met Marissa or had I not started doing platelets. And I think looking for those connections is pretty powerful. And now I'm super glad to have met you. And in fact, I'm going to ask, would you mind if I gave you a shout out this Friday when I go in to donate platelets?
oh, dude, that's absolutely perfect. Yeah, that would
I
be
would
amazing.
I would love to do that. I've
Yeah,
got a list, but I'm going to put you at the top of it because this is really exciting to do.
yeah, I
So,
really appreciate that. Just acknowledge each other, be there
yeah,
for one another. Just we're all stronger when we're together, and it's easy to move past upon. I mean, I've done it multiple times where I put myself first. Everyone's done it. I mean, you may not care about another person in the moment, but
it doesn't take that much effort though sometimes, right?
it doesn't. I mean, it takes the same amount of effort to help someone mentally and to not help someone. You're still making that choice in your mind. And ultimately, what do you want
Yeah.
your legacy to be? Do you want to be a terrible person on this earth, or do you want people to remember you as a good human with good intentions and who helped the others?
Yep. Do you want to sleep at night? Do the right thing.
Exactly.
So, it's
Yeah.
been a pleasure, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. We've had a deep conversation. You're helping so many individuals, and I just can't thank you enough.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll be in touch.
All right, that sounds great, Jacob.
All right. You
Take
have a good
care.
one. All right.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
See ya.
John's story reminds us that making a difference doesn't always require a huge platform or grand gesture. Sometimes it's as simple as rolling up your sleeve and choosing to help someone you may never meet. If John's story inspired you, consider looking into blood or platelet donations in your own community. It's a small act that can make a life-saving impact for someone fighting cancer. And as always, thank you for listening and see you next time on the Motivational Mic. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Together, we can spread positivity and make a difference. Join me next time for more incredible stories and insights. Until then, stay motivated and keep pushing forward. Thank you for listening and see you next time on the Motivational Mic.